Good evening, afternoon, night, wherever you are, fans of Free Enterprise, and welcome to our final race, I believe, of the Fabul Gauntlet Swiss Round 2. I am Baka Shinobi, and tonight I am joined by Rivers McCown. Rivers, how are you?
Hi, I'm Rivers McCown. You may remember me from races such as earlier today.
Yeah, I see you're not terribly fond of taking a break from Free Enterprise action. This is another exciting race, I think, as we have Dark Paladin versus Invenerable, two well-known community members, and if you're remember 2v2, these two were the true power team who just dominated throughout the fronts and are now facing off each other.
That's right. I broke them up from participating in a World Series of Free Enterprise, and now I get to break them up again here and make them play against each other. So should be some good blood sport. Everybody loves that, right?
The blood of friends is all the sweeter, right?
I believe so. So we got a Kane start. That's pretty jetty as far as these flags can be. Kane can clip a lot of stuff. Get that rune axe going. Even early on, like a flame spear or something can carry you pretty far. So I imagine both of these runners will be excited to see that at least.
I bet, because there's even a chance of starting with a Avenger, which would be that would be complete stomp the overworld mode for these players. On the flip side, if they don't get any weapons, that spear Kane starts with is actually pretty wimpy.
Listen, that spear gets you through the Mist Dragon fight in vanilla, so I don't want to hear it, man. That spear can do up to 60 damage. Okay.
I believe in vanilla and randomizer, we're working on different scales. As let's be fair, who actually fights the Mist Dragon fairly in this?
There's a Mist Dragon in these seeds. Oh yeah, there is. I guess. How about
It's a,
that?
it's a bit of a mystery for us.
But yeah, I think this is definitely one of the more anticipated races for the round once the pairings came out. So very excited to be here delivering the commentary to you guys.
Me as well. I am definitely excited for this. And any objectives that you're hoping to see? As we have five, we're going to be getting soon, and it could be anything. It'd be complete Antlion Cave to complete the Giant.
Well, I'm a big fan of things that sound really bad but actually are very jetty. So giant for sure is one of them. Maybe like giant with a giant required boss. Just get it all out of the way early. Make these guys really sweat. I think that would. I think for good runners, the jet seeds are more unnervy than the tough, complicated seeds.
I definitely don't disagree with you there. I know in Zima Zone, the last event I participated in, when things were fast, I was scared because getting yourself up and powerful and just stomping through everything is definitely a good way of clearing out a seed. But if you just need to dead sprint to the finish and then you need to see, okay, I'm level 23 and I have my crystal. How do I kill Zeromus? We're going to go and have some interesting times.
I also just want to see Invenerable's practice to Edward strats because, of course, he's so good at it that he'll have to show us the way, right?
Oh yeah, he has definitely been very fond of those low-level Edward strats because why grind when you can go and make Zeromus kill himself when using crystals from Edward?
Yeah, for sure. And I guess like early game wise, obviously we're all hoping for Hookseed, right? That goes without saying. But hoping for a long overworld. I think a long overworld makes you question your routing a little bit more.
Very true. It's definitely something where you get nervous, like, have I fallen down a rabbit hole? Have I just missed something entirely? Is Demas hiding something that I was supposed to find? But we're off to start, and we start with Rydia and Kane. That's an interesting start. Ooh, I see someone got a wish.
Well, that came quick.
Shame we can't go and have this behind, like, say, Earth Crystal to Twin Harp, but we can take it knowing that Sword of Damocles is hanging over our runners' heads as they need to now understand. I have to go. I'm probably going through the hook route. How do I get through it with this team?
Well, now the question, of course, is if you want to check it early, check the character early, because I mean that could change a lot too.
Very good point. Finding an early Fusoya could be massive. Edge would also help, but Fusoya is definitely that big game changer.
Mist Cave and Cecil. Man, got some easy ones.
If we can get your wish and go and have Rubicant in Mist Cave as well, though Baron Key could be hiding somewhere. And we do need to complete Cave Bahamut, so there's value regardless of key items today.
We got CPU and Yang in the inn. The interesting thing actually is that because we saw Ruby hand off that hook to begin with, the Rubicant and Baron Castle objectives could be hooked together.
Very true, or it could be a little bit of a fake out with that being elements, because if there's a way to tell, I can never reliably tell between the spots if it's Rubicant or elements.
Yeah, there's no way to tell except for certain spots, of course. And yeah, looking like not a whole lot of value in Baron down that I saw.
I didn't see a lot either. I think I saw maybe a black sword, which Cecil's on Hobbs. That's okay, but definitely not something you're excited about. And Inven deciding I don't want any part of Baron. I just want to go straight to Damsian and find what's there.
Oh, we got a little hiccup there on DP stream. I didn't see who that character was, but well, now we know because Val popped up in the waterfall that Ruby is in Baron, so Baron is double required.
2-for-1 on Baron Key. Let's see if we can get it from Antlion Cave.
Oh yeah, let's speed that up.
Let's just get our runners sweating. Let's go and make it a 3-for-1 to give Cecil from Baron too.
Then all you gotta do is beat Cave Bahamut, and it's free, right?
Pretty much. Get our runners nice and sweating about where's that darkness crystal.
So Inven doing the early hook check. I like the early hook check on these flags generally. There is something I think to be said for skipping it in this case because Kane is usually pretty good for the early game. But I mean, if you do find like an edge or a foo here, it really changes a lot about how fast you can go. We see coffins in the item shop, so not a whole lot of value there.
Yeah, coffins are expensive and they're helpful for some bosses. They're definitely most preferred for certain grinds, but not something you're really gonna be able to take good advantage of very early on. And Inven, he found an exit. I was going to comment he might go and be losing some value if he has to walk out of here, but an exit from that chest is pretty lucky for Invenerable.
Love that free exit for sure. I also kind of like after you check this character, saves coming at the back here, and then just opening this entire room full of the easy chests. And sometimes you get bit, but sometimes you don't.
Yeah, I agree. And that looks like a Palom versus an Antlion.
That's definitely a scenario where if you have to go down, that you want that Palom leveled. So that'll be helpful for Invenerable.
Oh yeah, Palom is... I always like Palom. He's the strong black mage kid compared to the white mage who went to level 18 and cast Berserk and maybe have a curse ring and never talk again, but Palom you're usually always happy to find.
Wow, I don't know of any white mages like that in this game. Whoa, who are you talking about?
True, that doesn't sound like Rosa, or Fisoya, or Tella.
Yeah, it's doesn't ring a bell. Sorry.
But it looks like DarkPaladin is getting ready to just go straight up Hobbs and not checking the hook characters, so he's not going to go and have Palom for these early fights, which might be a little bit of a disadvantage because it does take one fight. Oh goodness, maybe it's not so much of a disadvantage because there's Golbez blocking Rosa.
There's Rosa. Yeah, well, I mean, you want that for sure. Gotta have the good characters, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, but is this a case where you just say, I kind of want to leave and come back later when maybe I have a little bit more levels, maybe I have Fire 2 on Palom, maybe I have a fire weapon on Kane so I can just take out this Golbez quickly?
Well, DP's also been checking the characters pretty religiously, so unless he actually gets a key item that opens up something, but you're not getting like a tell at a slingshot the Rosa up later, so I don't know. I think in this case, you're probably better off just eating the time because, I mean, you definitely want Rosa and absolutely you want to get her as quickly as you can.
Very true. Rosa is the premier white mage. She gets HP, she gets spells, she gets all the things you want in a white mage, unlike the other white mage who doesn't exist.
And a good run buffer there by DP to get that Star Bell off, so shouldn't be too hard to live this fight. Invenerable stopping by an Agar, that's an odd play. I kind of like it. Let's see what he's going to find here in this item shop.
He seems to be very fond of doing some shopping, and maybe he's thinking because I am never going to go and come to this town for a magma key, that's totally not going to show up on the overworld, because why would that happen?
Oh, of course not. No, no, no.
But we see not only does DP get through the fight, he managed to get Rosa up before the fight finished, so she got some experience on that as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Invenerable to lose 10 seconds here because he has an extra character to get disrupted.
Or he'll just reset to go and kill the Iridia because he really wants to try and get the experience on Hallam.
Yeah, a little bit early in the season to start planning experience shenanigans, but that is an idea for sure.
Go and commit to having that Iridia anchor and maybe slingshot her later. But I agree, it's definitely a bit early, especially since we can go and find Sylph for Iridia somewhere, and that would definitely go and make her a lot more palatable to use at this point.
Wow, Invenerable. Checking the lost shops of Agar that nobody ever goes to. Didn't even pick up the Iron Ring. I mean, come on, man, it was right there.
Gotta go and have your Cave Magnus tech, right?
I know, that's what I'm saying, but okay. I mean, you do you, man. You do you. So DP is our first into an actual dungeon. Find Sylph for Iridia. That is a very nice find early on. And Venerable has also found this, but is not buying it.
Inven might have enough money after all the early looting he did, but rune rings in the shop is nice, but it's probably not the ring he's looking for.
Now, what these flags have trained our artists to look for is the cursed ring, actually. And that's purely for agility manipulation tech on the later bosses in this game. So if you do happen to find that, you can really stretch out kind of a tough party early on against a tough boss.
Very fair, and we see that Invenerable is making a check that Supremacy didn't, and he is checking to see what the Hob spell is, and we get... That looks like Shiva, unless I'm mistaken.
I believe that is the Sylph Mistdragon combined summon. No, that's Shiva. You're right.
Heals her HP equals to the current owners and split it across the party. It's a Proto-White Wind.
That's right. That's a very cold summon to bring out. So we got a what? Dragoon, Wind Spear, Karate Strength. So this Kane is pretty buff early on. Not too shabby at all for DP. Of course, Invenerable has just found the Ogre Axe, his favorite thing on Hobbs, so he'll be even happier with that.
And he already found us Icebrand, so Kane is definitely having a good number of nice weapons there.
I do want to point out the mute arrows and charm arrows that Invenerable found in the Mysidia shop. Those could come in handy for a long time, especially as he runs into this Rosa.
Very true. Those are the two types of arrows I look out for when I'm on these flags. I definitely want mute arrows because I expect to see them, and charm arrows because they're a bit stronger, and both have special properties where mute arrows do bonus damage to mages, and the charm arrows do bonus damage to giant enemies.
So we find the Dark Elf down here in the Antlion Cave, not like a scary boss early on, but if you let him live long enough, the D-Mist can be pretty bad, or whatever it's called. Dark Mist, maybe? I forget his second attack. It's ugly.
It's ugly when we try not to let him do it, because we can also just stop him if we decide that he's saying too much. But he's down and doesn't even get his D-Breath out.
I thought that was what Lunar Dragons did. And getting an Ag Apple for his troubles. Who knew that the Dark Elf was cultivating an apple tree down in that cave?
Maybe he was trying to go and keep his doctor away, as he keeps telling him to go and stop splitting himself apart.
Inven down to Rosa and Iridia.
Probably very much so not the characters he's looking to go and see. Did he go and throw out a Star Veil, or is he trying to go and keep them?
You hate to see it.
And looks like Inven is stuck in a bit of recovery, and yeah, he did not throw out a Star Veil. That is definitely not doing many favors right now.
The early run buffers make you feel really bad when they happen.
Oh, and there's a wipe. That is very unfortunate for Invenerable.
Yeah, that's definitely some time early on. Turning on encounters on Hobbs. Oh baby. The legendary spirit skeleton grind. He's actually killing Rydia. I know he's killing Rydia. It's just funny.
Killing Rydia and the kid with the Kamikaze, going and using that sweet Kamikaze into another party member to go and have 2 characters down.
So DP heads in cannon order, goes to Fabul second. And in Fabul, Kane must defend Fabul against a lonely water hag.
I believe this water hag has been misinformed as where a bard is hiding today.
He usually has been misinformed, actually. It's pretty rare that he's properly informed.
Look, apparently we don't go and speak his language because the only thing he says is ARG, and we apparently don't have enough pirates.
Yeah, you did say that. There's nothing I can do to make you unsay it. So, congratulations.
Aren't you glad you get to commentate with me?
Just beyond thrilled. It's an honor.
But that's another check for Dark Paladin. There's the pass, so not immediately helpful, but potentially helpful, as well, we will need to find the Darkness Crystal to get to Zeromus, or get our crystal, as we do need to complete Cape Bahamut. If the Baron Key's on the moon, we still have a fast way back to the blue planet, or back to Zeromus from the blue planet, excuse me.
I will say it does feel like, and I'm saying this anecdotally, not as like I have evidence or something. It does feel like when there's only one moon objective, people try to tend to save it to the end, either way. So, I mean, it being Cape Bahamut does save you a little bit of luck, but it's not really a huge deal.
Yeah, very fair.
This has been Rivers McCowan for the Faithful Bull Committee.
Going and petitioning for, don't abandon our moon, save it for the best time of the seed.
So, so far we've got absolutely nothing that progresses us early on, except for that hook. And we've got the Baron in, and I believe it was Yang there. And so that's also not really super enticing either. And we've got Ordeals.
And Ordeals is, you don't have Cecil yet, and you don't have any eyes on Tella yet, so going there it's still 3 bosses, which we know where Rubicant is. I don't know if Dark Paladin's checked for elements, but we definitely know that Rubicant's not going to be up here, so maybe there's going to be a Darkness Crystal up here to go and break the seed even more open.
Well, the important thing is you get all that Samurai Shield stuff, so Doggo over here will be well equipped for whatever's up here.
Yeah, I believe Dark Paladin has named his dog Kane, so he's returning the favor.
Definitely an interesting combination of somebody who's very loyal and somebody who always betrays everybody.
Maybe he knows that his dog will always betray him for a biscuit.
It's Biggin! Oh wait, no, it's a star. Sorry.
It's definitely a star. Oh, it's a boss you don't like to see in really hard spots, but it's never a boss you really like to see in general.
Honestly, great spot for it, though. I mean, you got the Sylph Summon already, so you're not worried about getting meleeed to death. And, I mean, if you're going to fight this thing, you want to fight it early. You don't want it in a tough spot. So, if it were me, I'd be thrilled.
Very fair, and there comes that Sylph Summon, which it will draw as blaze counters, but when you're healing more than the counterattack does, it's hard to go and feel upset about it. And we do see Invenerable going and clearing out Fabul, getting experience, and keeping all of his characters up, so Rydia will have enough MP to go and use that Sylph. Hallam will go and have his level 2 spells, and well, actually, did Invenerable actually go into Antlion Cave, or did he just go straight to Fabul after Golbez?
I'm pretty sure he did not do any line cave yet.
That makes sense. I think trying to go and get the free heal for his party, get them all recovered. He can fade it safely.
I feel attacked.
Look, just because you want to go and advise the strategic benefits of skipping Fabul early when you have the option does not mean that we really don't want to just revive all of our characters for free.
I mean, we give you 10s. Hey, look, it's value on Mount Ordeals. The D Mist hanging out. Being like, yo, you want a free key item spot? I am right here.
And here I was, opening my big mouth saying, oh, there's no bosses that the runners are going to need up here. Well, I'm wrong. Granted, Demas might not give us anything we need, but could give us a Darkness Crystal, could give us a Magma Key, could give us an Avenger. We wouldn't really care about the other two.
The interesting thing is that for once, if Invenerable were to fade Antlion Cave, it would turn out good for him, because there's absolutely nothing there that we know already, except for that self-summon.
Agreed, and if he really needs one, he knows where he can buy some, so there's pretty fair to just maybe forget it, the Siege. Though I can definitely say as a runner, it would feel like an awful choice, because you know those, if you fade it, it's going to go and be a Sand Ruby into a Fusoya, or a package into a Fusoya. But when you go there, it's still going to just be that Silver Apple.
I don't know anybody who has ever lost fading a character spot, so I mean, it must be something that you've made up in your head, but never happens to anybody in this randomizer.
No, it's never like you go and just clear through, spend 20 minutes going and grinding up your party to clear through something, and then discover, oh, I could have had a character who made this free.
Yeah, it's never Fusoya in the Baron Castle unless you don't do it.
Exactly, it's never Fu until you leave him alone, and then he's the Fusoya for your opponent.
DP popping the safety save here, as Invenerable also climbing Ordeals. So we've got a pair of Baron Infaders.
Maybe they're just really expecting Cecil to be early, and also really expecting a Crystal Sword to be just thrown at them where they can't avoid it.
Listen, you've got a fan in me. I love Ordeals, and these flags. And we've got a package, so hey, could still be that Cecil.
And it's another reason to go and check for, go back to check your Mist Dragon.
And Pale Dim. I hope that DP doesn't use Sylph here. He's going to use Sylph here. Oh, okay. I think he's had enough.
Yeah, I don't think that Pale Dim has enough HP to actually do anything after the Sylph. Because, fun fact, you summons on Pale Dim, he counters with Quake.
And where you are HP-wise, Quake will generally kill you. But thankfully that jump did enough damage, didn't have to worry about it very much.
Yep, Kane not betraying the party for once, which is a bit outside of expectations.
Well, that's why DP named him Doggo.
True. This Kane is loyal and true.
And all the Yeets learned Medio. So, I mean, that's a thing that I was forced to say on a live broadcast.
Better you than me.
So it'd be interesting to see if DP is going to do Hook yet, or if he's going to check that Mist Dragon first, or if he's going to do Baron in here. I think Mist Dragon probably the play. You don't know what you're going to get yet, and you can also check the package character too. And if it's Cecil, we know that we need him, so...
Yes, very much so. If it's Cecil, we definitely want to go and stick around. If it's Fusoya, we probably want to stick around. If it's Edge, we might stick around. If it's anyone else, we will probably be resetting.
What if it's another Rosa, though? I mean, I might be tempted.
It's hard to go and say no to another Rosa, because it is more Berserk, and we don't have Pocket Splines yet. But we'll have to see. And Inven is discovering that Mist Dragon, he might be able to make up some time because he does have Palom, and Palom does have tier 2 spells, so he's going to be pulling out a bit more damage. Then again, his Rydia does not have Sylph, which has definitely been filling in that role for DP.
And there is Bahamut, which we have to complete the cave, and we also have to fight this guy too. So really, a lot of value in Mist and Cave Bahamut is what we're saying, generally speaking.
Are you saying that Bahamut brought the value to Mist Cave?
For once. For once, there was value in Mist Cave, yes. The new objective system does do that sometimes.
These objectives definitely do go and add a lot of incentive to checks you would otherwise skip, where DP would definitely never go into this cave if he hadn't gone and found his Mist Dragon already.
And our package character is Tella. Ooh, actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is tempting for a lot of reasons, and if I find a darkness, I really want him. For this hook route, he could still be helpful as well, as he's going to go and he has all of his spells. He can go and throw out a bunch of stuff that's helpful, and we can go and just sit here and be mesmerized by these chocobos burning down Mist.
I would probably be resetting out of it early, but I might come back to it. And I mean, of course, these chocobos, adorable way to burn down town. Don't know how they learn how to start a fire. They tend to be things that just run you over or peck you, but I'm not going to question it. I'm here for it.
Maybe it's just decided to rebel against Rydia for getting neglected in this randomizer.
Wow, that is dark.
Not as dark as Rydia's hair. Rydia's mother's hair, it seems, as we had a nice little palette swap there.
DP did say before the package, so this is 100% intentional take here. We've got some Shiva D-Mist strats. You love to see that.
Making good use of his Hob spell, but because he faded Antline, he didn't find that Sylph, which has definitely been carrying a lot of DP's early DPS, so a little bit of a setback for Inven.
DP did not turn in the D-Mist key at him yet either. No, he did not yet. Make sure to stay on him for that. I will think it very loudly with you, and together we will bring him back there.
I agree. This is that's something what my first check would be, as I really want to know what that key item is. Oh, goodness gracious.
And this is why you reset. This is why you reset, folks.
DP, I know it. Yeah.
The disgust in your voice.
I know it's Tella. I know he's good, but he's not that good.
Chad is asking if Tella's worth the 3-minute cutscene. No. I'm gonna go with no.
If I had a darkness crystal on hand, I'd go and feel it, but
I actually, it would be very funny if the Demas turn-in was actually darkness crystal, and that might save DP as well. So I'm rooting for it.
Yeah, I'm looking for darkness either here or at Baron Inn. Maybe DP is thinking Invenerable would never do this. I'm going to do this and go and do an early demon grind and have an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think some bad thoughts too sometimes. So if that's true, then Godspeed, DP.
He is at least showing off that those early Thor rages you find can definitely do good work against some of these early encounters, as it just takes out the whole pack of monsters that you normally find in this cave in one shot.
The good news is that Kenatsu will never be in Cave Bahamut, so that's A+ stuff.
Agreed. We can't even worry about Kenatsu being the fun element spot, as we don't have a good reason to go. Oh, no, excuse me. We could go and still need to go to Giant to go and find Cecil.
Yep, still on the board. Prayers up.
Let's see if we can go and inflict some serious magic with chat and get Cecil in Giant behind Kenizo.
And Invenerable, going to check out our Dark Crystal. Well, I mean, they're both going to hit about the same time now that Invenerable shopping. So DP giving us our first check. And the Mist Dragon was holding a big ol' Darkness Crystal.
The plays. DP just. Alright, so now if he doesn't go in D-Machine Grind, I'm going to have to yell at him because why else would you go and give Tella that many minutes of your race if not to go and do a D-Machine Grind?
That is an expert question, and I'm definitely here for you yelling at him.
We'll see where he goes. He is going to Baron in, maybe going and checking that to see if it leads to a magma key so he doesn't get baited into thinking he has to clear hook when he doesn't need to. But I really want to see Dark Paladin use this Tella to just absolutely destroy the seed.
That is what Tella's good at. So CPU here. Pretty decent spot, actually.
Yeah, what's even better?
CPU in a low HP spot.
Even better is that Rydia can go and kill it with just her self-summon, because that will pierce that wall.
And looks like Inven's going to finish up his Bahamut at Mist Cave fight as well.
Hard to disagree. You've got a good reason to be in the area with that package to go and check out, and you need to do it anyways. It's not going to get that much easier in the future.
I'm going to laugh if Inven takes this Tella. I think that would be amazing for everybody involved.
It would be hilarious. And meanwhile, in Baron Inn, we find Valvalis sitting at that spot. So this is right. Certain people have made charts and understand that Valvalis does not have magic evade in the spot, so you can use your summons and spells with impunity here.
Yeah, this is a CPU and Valvalis at Baron Inn is just great for everybody involved, I feel like. So Inven does reset out of the Tella. Man, if DP takes this to Giant and it wins, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
If DP D-Machine grinds, clears Giant, and gets Cecil out of it, this is going to be a real moment.
It's going to be something. I don't know if it's going to count as a moment, but it's going to be something.
It'll be a moment that will be a very long moment for DP, as he'll definitely remember that going forward.
Yeah, it'll be a long moment for everybody involved as we watch the Giant get done.
And we just get a white shirt and Young from there, so not really that helpful.
Absolutely nothing. So Darkness Crystal character could still be Cecil. That could help out a lot with decision making, but otherwise, DP doesn't know what the hook boss is yet.
And he doesn't know that the character is Palom, which Palom's not a terrible target to bring up with a D-Machine either.
Palom is a great target to bring up with the D-Machine, yeah.
Honestly, if you have Kane, Tella, and 3 mages, it's you definitely don't mind the idea of doing a D-Machine to get some very lovely spells on those characters.
I think the only thing DP is missing, he may not have Ethers yet. I think we only saw Invenerable pick those up.
Ah, very true. DP going to Mysidia, gonna unmoor the whale. We'll see where he goes and if he just goes up for a peek or if he goes and goes for the long haul there.
Double whale. Double whale. Lisa needs braces.
They have gone and the old 2v2 partners have synced up and are going and summoning their whales at the same time. They seem so far apart and yet so close.
Let's see, what's Dad saying? Demarine says she likes grinding. Of course, that's the only way Porum's good, so it's good to make sense, yeah. I agree.
I was going to say, she does go and play FF Final Fantasy 1 randomizer, so that's also seems par for the course.
So DP first to the crystal, and Invenerable right behind. Man, it would take a lot of guts to do D Machine Grind and play Moon right away, but DP may think he's so far behind that it's the play, and he's already committed to Atella.
Very true. And there is the advantage of the earlier you grind, the well, if you don't have 10 key items, it's definitely slower. D Machine makes up for that a little bit. If this is Fusoya and Fusoya has weak, he may feel a bit bad about his decision, though.
Iron's on the moon as well. Just a lonely Sid.
He's probably going to stay lonely because I don't see him getting invited into this party.
Conquers.
Poor Sid, farewell. And I believe that was a new sprite from 4.0, as I did not recognize that sprite.
Excuse me, his name is Conquers.
Excuse me.
So DP gonna do basically reverse order here. Check shop and check character for both of them. Gonna see those sirens. Sirens tend to be the thing that points you away from a D Machine Grind, but we've already spent 3 minutes getting Tella from the Gauntlet, so I don't know. Does it really matter?
Well, he bought 10, so he must be planning on using some of them. Does he plan on going to the lunar core? He is getting back into the big whale, so no leaving the moon yet.
Let's check it. Let's see about the value. And yeah, as chat points out, still could do double gold dragon here, which Invenerable cannot do.
Or if he does, if he tries it, it's going to be a very, very painful grind, because I don't think we've seen an hourglass anywhere.
I think we've seen one get picked up. I can't remember who has it, but either way, I don't think he has the damage to actually do anything. It'd be a long fight.
Very true, and interestingly enough, if Inven had picked up coffins, he might have been able to do something, but
It's
not
a
against that
star.
lunar spark.
It's a star. What if it's just a nice little plague that anybody could take down?
That would be the most amusing to me, but it is not. It is the D-Lunars. The D-Lunars are not the worst boss. This has pretty low magic power, so you could go and try and tank the viruses, or you can just go and try and do that lovely breath reflect strat.
Let's go. Let's go. We're grinding. Let's go.
We've got to pass, and
yeah. About that.
This is definitely not going to go well for Paladin. I'm thinking these dragons hit hard, and they are mean. He does have Stop on Rydia, and he is going to go and use that, and Blitz is only HP-based damage, so... Ooh, that's mean.
I believe the operative thing to say here would be you hate to see it.
Yeah, this fight is definitely not going... There's the reset. Sirens would work, but without hourglasses, those dragons are actually quite rude.
And does not activate to go chase the giant either, at least not yet. I think the only thing the DP has left to do is he can either check that waterfall boss or he can go do the hook.
Agreed, as those are the only things left. He knows he definitely doesn't have any more key items he can get on the overworld. He has to either go Moon or Neath, and he is going in... Oh, no, just misstepped into Mysidia.
I hate it when I'm walking and get sucked into a town. It's the worst.
I imagine I'm pretty bad about that myself. And he is checking that waterfall boss, so he will know... Well, if he remembers who the Baron boss is, he will know that Rubicon's there, but here's the elements.
And Inven now clearing CPU and Valvolus. Shouldn't be hard for him either. And at that point, we may see both of our runners just do the hook route. And here comes DP with that hook. Going to Cave Evelyn.
Agreed, and he's going to see that it's Antlion, which not everyone's favorite boss, but not really the worst, especially when you have a Rydia with Sylph and someone who can go and throw out Berserk.
Yeah, the main problem with this party is that Rydia itself is pretty much all you have. So, I mean, you might even take Palom and get Virus at the Mad Ochre chest and be happy about that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that being a very viable plan, as that extra magic damage is going to help a fair bit.
And also, remember, if he doesn't have Ethers, then that's kind of tough too. As he has one Ether too, folks.
Very true, and yeah, Palin will not have a lot of MP unless he gets a fair number of levels. And DP does go and buy a number of coffins, so he's getting geared up for something. I wonder if he's going to take a peek at this boss, see if it's free or not. And if it's not free, leave and do a little bit of a Warlock grind on the moon.
He may also just be getting the coffins from Mad Ogres. Like, that's on the table as well.
Good point.
Or because he thinks coffins are good.
Yeah, coffins are definitely a very viable or valuable item, excuse me. Viable for a lot of things, not necessarily bosses, but for getting through a lot of enemies. And I certainly wouldn't feel bad about having 4 of them.
Yeah, I believe Ether ones were in Akart, which Inven checked pretty early on kind of a whim, knowing that he probably wouldn't be back for the Magma Key, and saw them there.
And he was rewarded for that, and Infant did get the Ogre Axe that was on the west side of Hobbs, which Dark Paladin skipped, so Dark Paladin does not have that item going for him.
Did we just see a Soma drop purchase here on Inven's screen?
I believe we did. I think he enjoys having at least one of them around when maybe he thinks he'll find Fu sometime, or maybe he's going to go back for that Chella.
Oh man, you got to.
Oh my goodness, he is.
Oh man, this is going to be a lovely post-match interview.
I believe we were very likely to see a D-Machine grind, just not from the person we were expecting to see the D-Machine grind from.
And so we got the Mad Ogres here, and 40 queuing up. Going with size, yeah, looks like size. That front row Tella in a bad spot. Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely not what you want to see, as those ogres hit hard, and Tella needs a bit of time to go and cast that size spell.
The thing about Silk Webs, folks, is that they're very good in fights that you can win, and when you can't win, they don't really help you very much.
Yeah, they don't
basically need the size to get off here.
Yeah, you need the size. You need to go and have that. There are a couple illusions in his inventory, so maybe he can go and tank some extra hits that way. They are going and punching hard on Kane and Rosa and not hitting the old man, so maybe that will save him.
Gotta have it. Hey, and Dark Paladin saving himself. Nice.
Really going
if Inven does know about this Gauntlet, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
He is saving, so maybe he's setting himself up for it. Maybe he's thinking, there's one boss here that I'm not going to fight, and that's Gauntlet. But with that, he can never return to Kaipo.
They're such cute ogres, though. I mean...
Yeah, it's, they're really trying to size up the competition here, but not quite measuring up.
You made that choice. You said it out loud. I respect it.
Respect is a rather generous word, I think.
Oh, not getting the life glitch off there on one of the first ogre for DP, unfortunately. So probably going to wind up with 6 deaths here. Oh no, he'll get the double. Okay, nice.
Lose it on one, gain it on another, so hard to go and be upset about that.
Has there ever been a more desired Tell? Only in vanilla, as far as I know. only in vanilla when you can break him and make him use Medial on every boss is he this desired. What a day for Tella.
Tella getting the respect he actually deserves. Where Dark Paladin does go get through those Mad Ogres and does learn Virus on his Black Wizard, so that's pretty good. Unless it was Riddy who learned the Virus.
It looked like he got a strength ring out of that, so that's something too, I guess. Good jump with Kane here.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst. Though Dark Paladin does not have great weapons. I believe he still has the Wind Spear and the Mute knife. Does not have the Ogre Axe or the Ice Brand that Invenerable found, as the Ice Brand was in the Eblin Cave that Dark Paladin rather skimpily looted.
You know, we haven't seen that DKC at King Queen spot in a while. Hadn't happened at all today, so maybe it won't happen here.
Yeah, that would be a terrible thing to go and find there, as then you have to go and really. Then again, if you find Dark Paladin or Dark Knight Cecil there, and you have a Darkness Crystal and a Tella, I don't think there's a better force in the universe that can get me to say, "Yep, I'm walking out of this tower, and I'm going to go and do a Demon Machine grind," because forget that.
I mean, honestly, I'd be rooting for it if I was walking down there and I had spent 4 minutes getting Tella.
Yeah, I can definitely see that being to your advantage, because that is a rude fight. That's a fight you're not going to go and really be able to outthink. You're going to go and just need to out-survive it.
And we've got just a Mylon. Sorry. Well,
we tried. It's not even the fun Mylon. It's just Mylon and friends who are going to be really kind of pathetic.
Yeah, this will be probably a Sylph Jumps and Virus fight. Maybe a Berserk if DP bothers.
Ooh, and underestimate how much damage the Boreas is going to do, as he's throwing a Cure 2 on Mylon.
Throw some respect on Boreas's name.
It's more that I was expecting the Boreas to do reduced damage to undead, but apparently they don't have the cold resistance I thought they did. And
Chat, welcome, to the giant.
welcome to our new home, where Inven will be going and getting very friendly with dragons, and Dark Paladin, who I was dead certain was going to go and get this Demon Machine grind on after faking up Tella, is going straight through the hook route. So here is our first big Divergence of the Seed.
And yes, Invenerable did purchase Ethers already, so he is set for this grind.
Yep, with his surprise early trip to Agart and finding only Ethers there, he did go and purchase a good number of them, so he's more than ready for this grind. And if he goes all the way up to Nuke, then that would definitely give him a big advantage on the seed, as there will be nothing to stand in his way for a very long time.
So let me ask you this, Baka. You make this play early, you invest all this time in Tella. I mean, you kind of have to fight both the bosses, right? Like it kind of has to happen.
Oh
You
yeah,
already made such an investment.
I expect going in both the bosses here is definitely going to happen. What I'm curious about is if he's going to go and check the bosses first.
Yeah, that might not be a bad play either. And then right now, going through his inventory, trying to get things that will actually do a little bit of damage, because you kind of need to cause some damage to the searcher to get it to move on.
And maybe
over on DP side, we got Antlion, the big long fight here. So
not even going back to save, very confident that he can go and get through this fight. So we'll see how this goes for him. Silkweb going out, Tella going and getting Blinks out.
checking the boss first. The boss is Oda. No, not actually a bad spot for Oda, because I believe the Zantetsuken only does like 1,000 damage there. But
Yeah.
Gonna be a long climb.
Yeah, I believe it's going to take a bit for Kane to have enough HP to go and survive that. And we find the fight, and unless I'm mistaken, this might actually be the first, just a one fight and done into the D Machine. Good luck.
Always lucky.
Ooh, and Antonel putting in chat and Inman confirming he does have a Thunderclaw. So he can go and just chew through Odin's HP, but it might be faster for him just to let the twos and Tetsukins come out and try and get the Thunderstruck Odin kill.
No, it would not be faster. You just let that Thunderclaw and go to work. IMO.
I imagine after this Steam Machine grind, Yang will be getting very close to 9k damage on those hits, so hard to disagree.
Yeah, I didn't see the exact layout of the levels. I'm guessing we've got maybe one character that can go up, and that might be Yang, as far as the double.
Yeah, I have to go and look at Yang's HP, because if he's at 300, he's definitely below the median, but if he's not, then he might not be getting... He's got 382, so I don't think any of them are really in slingshot range, but maybe Kane and Rosa have leveled up. Kane, Rosa, and Helm have leveled up enough to get Yang double experience.
And on DP's side, we see a bunch of blinked out characters. Do not adjust your sets. These are strategic considerations.
And he had to work slightly harder for it, as the illusions that we used to use for that cost a fair bit more than they were in the past.
Yeah, that was a price adjustment done by people who were sick of watching people buy stacks of 10 illusions for 10,000 GP.
Yeah, they were... Blink is definitely one of my favorite spells in this game, just because it's really good at what it does.
So I guess while we're in the middle of two long boss fights, or one long boss fight, one long grind, to update everybody. Obviously, both of our runners have done the first objective, which was the Miscade boss, which is Bahamut. As far as we know, both runners are aware that Rubicant is in Baron, and the Baron Castle basement is also required, so Baron Key is absolutely required. We don't know where Cecil is, that's Objective 5, and we have the Dark Crystal so we can access Cave Bahamut, but it was the D-Lunars, and I believe Inven nuked out of that.
Yeah, though Inven might go and choose to go back there and take them out, as he'll certainly have the levels after this. If he can take that out, clear the objective, and check things underground, he might feel better about just take out the moon, find my Baron Key, and be gone. It is a bit of a time sink, but I don't think it's that bad of a time sink, because it'll save him time from having to go back up later.
Yeah, I think that would be, given what we know about the seed right now, and the fact that you might not have to go back to the moon at all besides for that, I think it makes some sense to do it early.
Yeah, and if you do have to go back, you'll probably still feel fine about yourself, because you're going to be clearing the earth much faster than anyone who didn't go into a D machine grind.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I know that DP hasn't put a lot of practice in lately, and it's kind of interesting to see how, like, he is kind of on the cusp of the strat, and then just didn't have the hourglass. So I mean, like, that was pretty bold, and it could have paid off, but unfortunately, it kind of didn't.
Yeah, just one fight up there would have gone and given him a serious amount of experience, but yeah, no hourglass. Those gold dragons used to be very free, and then it got very hard to go and find hourglasses all over the place to stop them and make them free punching bags as they've been in the past.
But Antlion is down.
Which will put Dark Paladin, our first runner with access to the underground, at just under 50 minutes. So good on him. He is going to go and have a lot of information. If this D machine grind ends up being a bit of vanity, then that's going to be a fair amount of advantage for Dark Paladin.
You love to see it.
And something I love to see is the fact that Invenerable is using a bit of a strat of using Ice 2, which has a long enough delay to let it so you can get some reliable double life glitches off, which is saving him some time on this grind.
You see Ashura on top of the tower. Not a boss anybody will be rushing to see. I don't know if TP has any mage killer equipment. I think maybe like a mute knife I saw for him. Yeah. I know Invenerable has mute arrows, so that would be helpful for him if that happened.
Yeah, just mute knife is what I saw for Dark Paladin. That's what he used to take out the ogres, the mad ogres. But you're Dark Paladin and you're underground. Where do you go first? You still need to find Cecil, so Dwarf Castle is definitely an attractive check.
Yeah, Door Castle's attractive, and some monsters are attractive, and I think DP's most attracted to leveling right now with those sirens and coffins.
Hard to go and think that's the worst thing for him to do, as getting Quake on your kid is going to be very helpful. Not quite able to go and take him out, and you don't have enough mana to finish him off, so a little bit of a disappointment for DP, but Tella can go and give himself the plague.
Also, because Chad is pointing out that this is like all kinds of swag and ad by, and then this also actually gets him extra levels with the ice too, if he can line up the timings right, which I think he's done a couple of times. So, not just for swag, also helping him out.
Yeah, each time you go and get that extra life glitch, if you get 2 in a row, that's one less summon you have to go through, which stretches your ethers a bit further for Tella. So I definitely like this. This is definitely going and helping him out. And that 31 MP ether was definitely not inspiring. So the more you can get out of every bit of Tella's MP, the more you can get out of this in general, I think. But there is Dark Paladin doing his grind and getting some early levels, just taking a little bit to get his party started, it seems. And I can't disagree with that. He now has, going over to Tamra, probably going to go and check some shops and check maybe validate his seed and check the job dwarf.
Well, he's gonna want those Bacchus wines, that's for sure.
Very true. Those are very hard to go and turn down. Berserk on the user, yes, please, and thank you.
Wow, throwing away all the claws. Such disrespect to the Yang clan.
Did he keep Yang?
Oh, no, he threw them away, don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
We have a painter today.
Interesting job change for him, but definitely needs to, well, maybe he's not getting a lot of work in Tamra. Maybe he's going to be moving somewhere else.
Well, the good thing is that warehouse has a lot of space for him to display the art once he's done with it.
True, maybe he's just doing it as a showcase.
So DP heading into Dwarf Castle and then heading out of Dwarf Castle and then saving, I assume. And learning Ashura, okay.
Maybe he's looking for some assurance that if Rosa goes down, he can get back up easily.
Yeah, maybe.
But let's see who we can go and get out of Dwarf Castle.
How have we not put you and TG on the same team yet?
I don't know.
Is this even randomized?
It's looking a bit suspicious right now. It's even more suspicious than those dolls. But I think the dolls are going to be subjected to a bit of quaking in their boots.
So we've got Nuke for Palom. We've got 33 levels for Rosa here. I think Inven's probably done leveling for the seed. And if I had to hazard a guess, I would say he's probably going to just go entirely for the giant at this point.
It's going to be hard for him to justify not doing that, I think, as he needs to check characters for Cecil. If Cecil's here, that's definitely a big advantage for him. And he's going to get a free heal out of it, so doesn't even need to use the cabin or anything. He can just go and start the fight to fully restore his team.
Can I tell you as a vanilla runner how much I would kill to have Palom for this Dolls fight?
I imagine you would kill for anyone who could cast AoE. Like, having Viridia a little bit sooner with one of her summons probably makes this a lot less annoying.
Anything would be better than the current setup, yeah.
Yeah, that fight definitely seems mean. And we see Kanizo as the second boss at Parent Dwarf Castle, and we see an Edge here, so we'll see if DP takes him. Viridia has done her duty and is getting the boot, it seems.
That's not Cecil at all, but at least we don't have any claws.
Yeah, I can't even exploit that ice weakness there. How very unfortunate.
Yeah, watch Yang in this fight against Odin.
Odin seems to be a little static right now. Oh wait, he moved.
I can't believe I got the pun guy on here, and I couldn't even get him to say that Odin was thunderstruck.
Shocking, I know.
And there goes the crumble.
Yeah, that was definitely faster than trying to go and get a thunderstruck on. But looks like Yang just definitely brought the thunder itself.
So unfortunately for DP, no objective value out of Dwarf Castle.
Still hope for a Baron key, as that is definitely required. Right now, the best thing for DP is Baron key to show up as soon as possible and Cecil to be in that Baron castle, I think.
Wow, a very rough CPU fight here as we get the Baron guards that went to Kaipo.
And I see a certain someone is enjoying that swag. DP not getting value, but not terribly upset about the value he's getting with that Avenger coming out of Dwarf Castle.
Finally, the seed can play itself, and everybody else can go back to just twiddling their thumbs.
I know, it's really hard to go and say that DP has much he has to take care of now.
We've got a swag Meteo coming.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Yeah, our tracker, Alice, pointing out that we're 1 hour in and we have 3 key items. So she's been busy. It's been tough. I think everybody should follow her just so, you know. I mean, it's in honor of her service today.
And in honor of their grind, Invenerable gets a Fasoya, which do you take Fasoya in this case?
Absolutely.
You're already higher level.
Absolutely, you do. And you slap that cursed ring on him when you get it and say, "Good for you, Fu. You had a nice seed."
I didn't realize Inven had found a curse ring.
Well, I mean, I assume you would keep checking. Oh, say good night, Fu. Wow, a lot of barriers being broken here tonight as we see Fu rejected and Tella worth 4 minutes of investment.
I mean, the interesting part of it, we know that the dupe is Rosa, so if you wanted to D-Machine grind, Tella was the only way to do it.
Hey, music out of the Fey March for DP.
Definitely nice for him to see. And Hourglass is in Fame March. That is some experience for DP to catch up on the grind. And Invenerable, he's ready to just charge down the hook path as he has nothing left. Well, he could go and do Cape Bahamut and the Moon, but I guess he's deciding I would rather go and blow up the entire Earth and then start microwaving the Moon.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. I would think that you would do Cape Bahamut first in case it's Baron Key, and then you're just you're done with the seed or something. But all right, fair enough. It's not like this is going to be hard.
Yeah, this is definitely not going to be a very fair fight. I don't think there's going to be a single boss in Inven's way for a long time that's going to matter.
We've got Leviathan in a vanilla spot here, and DKC as Queen Ashura.
And DarkPaladin, forgetting he gave Kane the Avenger. Kane succumbing to his instincts to go and stab Cecil in the face. Not really what you want right now.
Betrayal, yeah.
You see, this is why I go and call Kane a betrayer. He betrays you even when he's on your side and not actually leaving your party.
The sad part is that nobody knows how good of a Daria reference that is except me.
I don't really watch TV, I'm sorry.
All right, there we go. Hey, you just complain about something loud enough and people get it. Anyway, poor DP. This is not the fight that he wanted to find here.
Now he gets a new Avenger, and the first fight he goes and takes with it, he has to take it off.
Probably actually not a bad Leviathan spot, or not a bad fight to find here. Yeah, just Leviathan vanilla. I think it's like 600 to 800 damage per ice too, and you can throw star valves up. So that probably is the easier fight. I don't know, like I don't know, but this party is really set up to the point where you actually want to take either of these fights, but definitely the easier of the two.
Maybe DarkPaladin thinking he's lost time and he's going to make it up somewhere, and that Invenerable won't go and check these spots. But I think Invenerable has a lot of incentive to go and clear these spots pretty quickly, as he's going to laugh at all of them.
Yeah, and Venerable, just putting that antline in the microwave.
Yeah, he's going in just really frying it up. And making sure that Tella goes back to sleep, as he really does deserve his beauty rest.
Sounds like we need a Daria emote. Okay, Scala, I have your next project.
What does this not sound like abuse of power in the slightest?
Me abuse power? That's unheard of.
Sure, you should go and take Invin's example and abuse all of the power you have against bosses you completely outclass, as he is through Antlion with lots of time to spare.
Yeah, and as Chad asked question, Edge was in Dwarf, so we need the Cecil. We know that he's not at Sand Ruby, so it's basically what Earth Crystal, Baron Key. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It is only because we can see the Sand Ruby. We checked Lunar Dias. We've checked Giant even. That was Fusoya. We haven't seen we haven't seen Porum. We haven't seen Edward. We haven't seen Cecil, and we have not seen one other person whose name I'm forgetting.
We've seen the dupe, which was Rosa in bed at Kaipo.
Correct. Yes, there's only 3 spots left that we can't check. So, yeah, we haven't seen Edward, Cecil, or Porum, and that's it. And Invenerable is wasting no time going to Dwarf, so he is going to be catching up on Dark Paladin very quickly. As Dark Paladin is through Leviathan, we'll see what he gets from here.
Oh, the value.
Yeah, that is definitely not what you want to see from here.
It would be very funny if the only thing in the entire Underworld was that twin harp. Everything else on the moon.
That would be incredibly mean, and I endorse it wholly.
That would be like the ultimate, like, you know, it would just be like the rudest thing you could do to DP after he like almost had the moon early stuff going and then kind of abandoned it.
Yeah, that would be a fitting punishment for not going diving that moon early. Finding ninja swords and assassin daggers, so that at least gets out his edge a bit better.
Yeah, he's down to 81 GP, so yeah, better start selling some stuff.
Maybe he can get some money on speculation.
I think he's about to try to beat up a Dark Knight for his lunch money.
I think that beating's going to go the other direction, but maybe he'll get some pity money. But Inven is through that dwarf castle, has made turtle soup, didn't go and take any edge because I guess he believes he has enough of an edge with his levels.
All right, DKC, take 3, I think. Oh, wait, the Inventor's still on. Oh, well. Take 4.
Kane, yet again, succumbing to his base instincts to stab Cecil in the face.
Betrayal. Betrayal, yeah.
Once again, we have been blessed by Daria.
All right, that Cure 2 should get off in time. Yeah, this should be okay now for DP. Unfortunately, Venerable's about to like waltz in and do this fight like it was nothing. So
Yeah, and Venerable's going to go and look at this fight and say, "Yep,
easy,
I have."
free survival there with 2 HP.
Yeah, no risk of dying whatsoever. Not a slightest concern. I mean, really, 2 HP, 1 is vanity.
Okay, and Venerable picking up the Twin Harp now. Will somebody please give us some music?
It's definitely going to be hard, and we just found the spoon here, so no value in Feymarch, as DP is definitely losing whatever lead he had getting to the underground first to just Invenerable having superior levels.
Well, at least he's got the edge to throw that spoon later on, and Venerable will not be able to say the same thing.
True, but Invenerable has one caster with Nuke and one caster with White, and gave up another caster with both those spells.
So unless there was something top of tower, that was, or no, we have not done Sheila 1 check yet either. But other than those two, there was absolutely nothing in the Underworld.
Yeah, the spoon is nice for the key item, but otherwise, that's very sparse for key items. It looks like the moon is the play, but maybe it's music instead, as Dark Paladin is going to be the people's champion. Well, Invenerable is getting ready to serve himself up a little bit of Cure 4 as a treat for himself.
This will be another quick fight for Invenerable, which tends to happen when you demission grind. The rest of the seed becomes very quick.
Yeah, it's hard to go and say there's much left to be a challenge for Invenerable, as he's higher level than you're probably expected to be when you finish the game. Meanwhile, Dark Paladin charging into Cave Magnus, getting ready to go and give us music. We'll go and hear whatever that is, and hope that it's a good song and that it gives Dark Paladin his Baron key, as there's... Outside of that, he's going to have to go to the moon soon, and he'll have to go and start catching up on levels there.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of potential value left in the seed behind Baron Key, potentially Earth Crystal. And other than that, I mean, really not a whole lot anybody can get that changes anything.
Agreed. The meanest thing the seed could do is put both the Baron Key and the Earth Crystal behind a chain that starts on the moon, and that's very possible, as we have, 4 chain items up there? 5 and 6 if we count Baron Key and Earth Crystal. And we get the Super Mario RPG fight music, as Dark Paladin is getting ready to go into his fight, while Invenerable is choosing to go straight up Keyless Tower.
Shoutouts to Pidge. SMRPG or randomizer rules.
I still haven't gotten around to playing that, but I also haven't, well, this is heresy to admit, but I also haven't ever finished Super Mario RPG.
That's probably only like the 5th most offensive thing you've said in the stream.
Wow. I need to go work on getting better about that. That should at least been 7th.
So Invenerable climbing top of tower here. Gonna take on that Ashura.
I'm rather sure this is going to be a short fight for Inven. And we find Bomb Bomb, which is not... Well, Dark Paladin getting through the extra 10,000 HP, so there's that going for Dark Paladin at least. We'll see if he gets rewarded. Did I say rewarded? I don't think that Lucky Key is much of a reward, even if he goes and gives you that Baron Key that you need.
I think if I were DP right now, that's the finest Luka key I've ever seen in my life. Because nothing else he's been doing has really been working out for him. So I better hope that Luka key is amazing.
Yeah, I definitely agree that after going out of your way to do this, you have to go and check that Luka Key, and you have to go and get value out of it. If it gives Earth and Earth gives Cecil, that definitely goes and gives you a good lead. As soon as Inven finds Baron Key, he's going to be able. He definitely wants to go and do that ASAP, as that could go and finish off all three of his objectives. And we do see Dark Paladin is going out there, so we're going back to the Underground and is heading to Sealed Cave, so we'll see if this is giving him value.
Very tough Ashura fight for Invenerable, taking that out in, obviously a hurry. Getting Adam in for his troubles, resetting immediately. that is the top of tower life, friends.
Well, that's one less check from Invenerable, and he is going to go and check Sheila 1, so looks like Invenerable is committed to clearing out all of the Underworld that he can, and then going and doing all he can in the Overworld, and we'll see where he goes from there. If he goes and follows up on this Luka Key, or if he just decides, I'm done with this place, let's go and clear the 7 spots on the moon.
Yeah, by far the best thing for DP right now would be to get some value here and have Invenerable ignore that Twin Harp till the end of the seed.
Yeah, and Invenerable definitely does have all of the options. With level 50 party, he is going to just steamroll everything. He is more than prepared to take on that moon. I think the worst thing you could find up there would be a Baigan. I think we've already found Ogopogo, and we have already seen CPU and Valvalis and Golbez. It's not really a lot of bad places left, or bad bosses left for Invenerable on the moon.
Yeah, and again, all we're looking for at this point really are the Baron Key and Earth Crystal. We know the Baron Key is super required, and the Earth Crystal could also have Cecil behind it. And DP has gotten blood on his face yet again from this seed.
Yeah, and he apparently doesn't remember where Rubicant is, because Rubicant is in Baigan's spot in Baron Castle. He gave us the item we started with.
Interesting that he took that fight. He may not realize that Baron Key is required. He may not. He may think Rubicant's still in the pool.
Agreed. And to answer a question from chat, no, Tracker hasn't been going slacking. Tracker has just simply not been getting anything. We have found very few key items.
So yeah, the moon, very very required, and I think both of these runners probably in the mode now where they're going to feel behind even if they're not, because they spend so much time Underworld clearing all this for nothing.
Yeah, and they're just not getting a lot from any of their checks. Invenerable probably feels behind because he did the D machine grind, and he needs, if Baron is somewhere open and free, he needs to go and get caught up ASAP, while Dark Paladin making a lot of checks and they're just not paying off for him.
Yeah, as somebody said, Bahamut probably the right play right now. Probably was the right play like 20 minutes ago too, just knowing that it was a requirement. But it's good that we're finally going to get it here.
Yeah, and if you find Baron Key here, that's pretty massive. No point going and scouring the entire lunar subterranean looking for a Baron Key if it's just sitting in a spot you need to clear anyways, and it's the Lunars. You have Nuke and Meteo. I don't think they're going to go and put up much of a fight.
We're getting some Fire 3, some Cure 4. Okay. We got a dead Tella. He did his job. He was worth the 4 minutes. I dare anybody to say otherwise.
I know we're harping on that, but man, the fact that Fusoya is behind Giant is just even ruder. Oof, and that's a pretty spicy amount of damage coming out on those D-Lunars. I don't think they're going to go and be lasting very long.
Well, there's one down.
Well, if there's a downside to Invenerable's levels, it's that he's taking a lot of damage from those fire counters, and they're dead.
Got a power shirt, but there was value in Cave Bahamut. Because
Indeed.
it was required.
There is no escaping the value today. And Invenerable going, or Dark Paladin getting through the Assure spot and getting the Adamant, and is going to be walking it out. While Invenerable had a good reason not to take it, I think Dark Paladin might feel a bit better about it because he still needs to grind, and that does put him to closer to 10 key items.
So I mean, at this point, you're clearing bottom, right? Because I mean, you've got you've been playing the seed for 80 minutes almost, and you have 5 key items.
Yeah, I think you finally go and try and find some key items in the seed because you're not finding them here. Dark Paladin has 2 more over Invenerable, and we know that Luca Key leads to a stack of Artemis Arrows and Doctor Luggage.
So for DP, of course, trying to think of best case scenario at this point in the race, knowing how far behind he is on levels. I mean, it's probably going top down, having Pale Dim have Baron Key, and just the rest of it being Rude Chains.
Yeah, Paladin being like King Queen Evelyn, getting the Baron Key would definitely be Dark Paladin's best hope, as he has unfortunately lost a lot of ground to Invenerable's completely insanely leveled team.
Yeah, unfortunately, had kind of the right idea there with that moon grind, and honestly, if he committed to it early, it might have worked out. But chose not to do the D machine grind after the hourglassless gold dragons went off the rails, and we've been stuck here for a long time underground, clearing things that don't matter, unfortunately.
Yeah, the seed, you start with the hook. You find Darkness Crystal from D-Mist on Ordeals. You get a package from Ordeals, which gives you Tella, and that's all the stuff on the overworld. That's all the key items. Then you find a Twin Harp in the chest in the Rat Tail chest in Feymarch. You get a spoon from the Shura spot. A Twin Harp leads to Luca Key, and an Adamant from Keyless Tower. That's a really rude and rather barren blue planet.
Blue, 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 blue.
I'm sorry, were you booping a bunch of fish? I thought that was Inven's shtick.
Blue, 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 blue. Oh no, Chad. He did say he did say it was rather barren on purpose. He did. I was here. I heard it too.
Have I moved down some of those offensiveness rankings yet? Because I really want to go and get the top 5.
Top 5. Ooh, I don't know, man. It's gonna take some work.
Work. Maybe I can steal it instead. This is Plague at the Ribbon spot, unless I am terribly mistaken, as that is 100,000 experience without 10 key item bonus. That's not what you get from the vanilla Plague altar.
Hey, a pan. That's a thing. Look at that. It's a key item.
It's a key item, and it could theoretically gate all the other key items because that's how the seed is. Because the only key items we haven't found are either chains or Sand Ruby and Pinktail.
Boy, what a time to have, a black mage, a cure forecaster, a fighter who does his primary damage with air weapons, and somebody with fire claw, and to just run into Mylon Z just like that.
Yeah, this is seeming a little unfair for Mylon Z, but I really don't feel bad for him.
Yeah, nobody should. He's killed Palom in enough vanilla runs that I don't feel bad for him.
But maybe Palin was doing something rude, like casting fire. And
Hey, a white spear! Look at that.
a white spear at the white spear altar. Is this even? Try and deal with key items at this point because we got a pan. That's all we got from the moon so far in 3 checks.
Imagine if DP goes top down here, gets a Baron key, and then the pan just leads to every other key item in the game.
That would be fitting because let's be honest, this seed has been rude.
This seed is drunk. Go home, seed. Ooh, that was nasty. Hey, something actually worth leveling for here is the seed wall.
Yeah, that's it's annoying that it counts as with Petrify, but it's not really going to go and do that much. And unfortunately, Dark Paladin takes a wipe to the D Lunars. I don't think that Avenger was doing him favors in that fight, as he just seems like he got a bit behind on damage and wasn't getting ahead.
Yeah, the Avenger hasn't really been very helpful for DP overall in this run.
Which is probably one of the bigger trolls of this is Avenger's one of Kane's best weapons, and the 2 bosses that Dark Paladin has been really trying to go and make use of have been Dark Knight Cecil and D-Lunars, the 2 worst bosses, 2 of the 3 worst bosses, I guess, to go and use an Avenger against.
All right, Mr. Palom tore down that wall. And we reunify around a pink tail. Oh, baby. Invenerable, very excited, and resets immediately.
Doesn't even go and give it the respect he... I mean, Invenerable doesn't need to go and get key items. He doesn't need levels. He doesn't need experience. He just needs to go and preserve his MP and microwave everything on this moon.
Yeah, this is a poverty key item seed right here. This is tough.
What's even worse is I think the meanest thing is you could have all the key items gated behind Baron, but get your crystal from Baron. As this is the second to last checker Invenerable on the moon, and he has found 1 key item that could lead to progression. Oh hey, here's a free fight.
Oh no, this is definitely Baron key here. After all the work everybody had to do, no. This is definitely Baron key.
Yeah, this is... If only so we'll go and get the proper panic and invent of, oh god, I could have gone and done this an hour ago.
Meanwhile, DP showing off the frog strats here. Only got one of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's... It looks like he had Rosa go down, who had his other wall, so he could only get 1 at best, it seems.
Microwaving those poor royals before they could even say their lines.
Maybe even had a hot date he wanted to get to.
Hey, a sand ruby. It's another thing that we don't care about. Wow, what a rude moon.
So, are we going to go and see it in the Paladin spot, or is everything literally gated behind this pan?
Well, we've got one more check to make.
And Inven is not taking any chances. He is going and finding out what's in this Paladin spot, and he's going to go and learn if the moon has progression hidden behind 1 single choke point, or if it's been trying to go and lead him astray.
I believe that Inven never did Twin Harp, right? So like he could come back, do that pan, and suddenly he has like Tower Key, Twin Harp, and Earth Crystal, and the Siege just like, what do you want to do, man?
Yeah, that's very fair. He could go and be thinking he only has part of it when, if there's nothing at Paladin, it's behind Pan. And unfortunately, Dark Paladin taking another wipe to the D Lunars.
Hey, check it out! It's some free guards.
Some free guards that could easily go and fit in some coffins, I think.
I think they would prefer to be tiny guards.
See, it decided that they no longer measure up to their position. Need to find some bigger shoes to fill.
I'm still here. I'm not going to respond to that, but I am still here. I just want you guys to know.
He's left you alone with me, chat. Aren't you so proud? It looks like the guards didn't want to be the only ones of miniature stature. Not going to be mini statues, though, as Palom whiffs the stone.
Yeah, unfortunately for Invenerable, actually, these little adorable Munchkin guards now still can cast spells. Size doesn't stop them from casting spells, and yeah, you're seeing a lot of tiny people on the screen right now.
And Dark Paladin going for the top-down clears, throwing a coffin out, leaving Cape Bahama, and he might get rewarded for it, though Kane is getting punched, Edge is getting punched. This is going to get real ugly for him, as there's an hourglass that he needs, and Rosie gets punched. This is not looking good for him. Palom, it looks like, has a rune ring and did not get one shot.
Okay, gotta survive 2 attacks now, I think. Woo! Skin of the teeth.
Yeah, that was definitely a bit of a close call for Palom.
And that is not value, but it was a crystal sword.
So now we know that value is behind Pan.
And that's literally all.
All the rest of the key items, we have the pink tail, we have the sand ruby. Those have been found, I think? Yeah, Inven found them and reset out those checks. But we still have Legend Sword, we still have Rat Tail, we still have Magma Key, we still have Tower Key, we still have Earth Crystal, all behind the Pan.
Love to have 5 key items approaching 90 minutes in the seed.
At least Inven's reset out of 3 of them that go nowhere, but...
But yeah, we reset out of what? Sand Ruby, Pink Tail,
and Adamant,
and Adamant, yeah.
So the moon literally had 3 key items. Only one of them leads to progression, and Inven is checking it right now. I'm gonna guess he's thinking, if it's behind Twin Harp, Dark Paladin would be done by now. I can't go and be getting progression here. I have to be getting it through somewhere else. Meanwhile, Dark Paladin has gone to finish off the Baron Guards and is simply walking down to the bottom of the Lunar Subterranean as he needs to go and clear the moon now. He is just getting here.
So in case you're coming into this late, we know that both Objectives 2 and 3 are behind the Baron Key for sure. Objective 5 could also be there. It's one of the 3 character locations we haven't seen yet. Could also be Cecil Earth Crystal.
And there is the Baron Key from the Sylphs. Not even sending you through the rest of the chain to go and find it. It's the seed even trying.
Do you even check the other 2 now? Or no, the other 1 now?
I think you just go straight to Baron and see if you can get your Cecil there.
Yeah, you might as well.
You definitely know you have to do Baron. You have no reason not to clear Baron, or at the very least clear the Baron Throne. Baron Basement Throne, I guess. And then why would you do... Might as well go and clear this here because you need to check characters, and then look for Earth Crystal.
Well, some good news for Supremacy is that He is absolutely going to love the boss fight he's about to come upon here.
Yeah, he is going to go and get a break, which he has not had for quite some time.
It's been a rude, a rough seed of bosses uh, smacking around his characters, but we know that King, Queen, Evelyn are hanging out here.
Yeah, and this is going to go and give Dark Paladin some extra experience, which will get him caught up that much further. I'll get him a Sandruby if he needs to go and get a new Rosa, but I imagine he's going to be less concerned with that.
Oh, my apologies. Yes, DP. Sorry, using the old name there for our friend.
Yep, if you look back at the old Zima zones, he was called Supremacy, but decided to go and do a name change to Dark Paladin. So, if you don't recognize the name, it's just because he's changed it.
And I'm just old, and that's fine. That's how it is.
If you're old, I'd hate to go and hear how old I am.
So normally against Rubican, you want to throw some ice spells out, or you could just barbecue him if you're Invenerable. You could just barbecue him and he's dead.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go and say that the Elemental Fiend of Fire is terribly intimidating when you can go and use fire that's so hot it doesn't even count as fire.
And we're going to the basement first here. That will actually take care of another objective. We've got number 2 down for Inven, and this will be number 3.
And now we need to see who's on this throne, because we could still get Wyvern, and Wyvern could still kill Invenerable because he could slip up and not get his Starveil off, but instead it's someone incredibly free, because of course it is.
You tried, man. You really did try.
This seed is... It doesn't want to give out any key items, but it'll go and give you all the free bosses.
Personally, I'm excited for the Tower Key to Rat Tail to Earth Crystal required Cecil chain myself.
Oh yeah, Oh, too soon. We don't even have to go and see any of these other key items. Is Invenerable even going to see 10 key items a seed?
No, he shouldn't. I mean, he technically saw them, and then he saw them and then reset out of them.
He saw them and he saw them go away because he didn't care anymore. That's true.
So yeah, either the Baron Key or the Earth Crystal will deliver our Cecil, and then Invenerable will be in go mode with a pass and all the levels we possibly ever need.
Indeed, he is not going to go and have much to slow him down, and there's Octomem definitely not going to slow him down on that Baron throne, so this is definitely looking good for Invenerable, and Dark Paladin is unfortunately going and finding all the things that don't give the progress he needs.
I can't believe that we got some Octopus royalty on the Free Enterprise stream, and Tara's not around to see it.
That does sound royally disappointing for her.
So anyway, is the Cecil? It is. None of it mattered. It was all behind Baron, folks.
And we're going to see what key item we get from this, because you can't escape after getting your crystal. You have to sit through this cutscene. So we had the chain of Rat Tail, Tower Key, both of them leading into Magma Key, and Earth also having to lead... Well, we know there's 2 chains. Earth Crystal, then Rat Key, or Tower Key, Rat Tail, and the final items of Magma Key and Legend Sword in both of them.
I wonder what kind of time somebody could have finished the seed with if they actually did Moon first.
The irony being, it's Plague at the, pardon my brain not thinking this, at the D-Lunar spot. Plague doesn't go and kill you for having high HP or low HP, he just kills you because he kills you. And Invenerable is going and pulling up a black chocobo to go and fly to Troya, just to be cheeky, it seems.
The funny thing is, even knowing that now, though, I mean, he still didn't have a magma key, so he still had to do the hook. Either way,
I guess Magma Key could be behind that rat tail or the Earth Crystal. We'll have to try and keep an eye out for that in the spoiler log because
or
that would
behind
be
the pan, or behind the rest of the pan.
Oh, right, true. Excuse me, right. Anything behind the pan. We didn't get Baron Key until we got underground, so you had to get underground through the hook.
Yep. Anyway, chat seems to be loading up on these flags. Something says whose butt. I don't understand what this is all about, Bach. Can you tell me?
Certainly, Rivers. We in the free enterprise community do not go and add Zeromas to our boss randomization pool because he's a bit too, well, everything. A bit too big, a bit too scary, a bit too mean, and a bit too complicated to throw in. But we do like to give him a little bit of a makeover. So, with your Z flags out in chat, let's find out whose butt are we kicking tonight?
Please be Ultras so that Natara isn't watching it.
Oh, that sounds so mean.
Well, I mean, we already had Octopus Royalty. I'm just doubling down at this point.
Can't blame me on that, actually. And now I'm sure Invenerable is getting ready for a hard technical fight with that 2200 HP Palom, that 6000 HP Young, that almost 3000 HP Rosa, and the Kane who's pushing 4000 HP. Yeah, this is definitely going to be hard. Does Kane still have his Avenger on?
You know what's really awful is when you got a 2200 HP Palom and you still have to bluff.
You're lying to yourself if you don't want to see that. Oh, I know this person. He's still ugly. I believe this is from Resident Evil, because we need more evil in this JRPG.
Interesting. He kind of looks like a barbarian as far as like the outfit, but I'm okay with this.
Yeah, he's I believe he just simply follows you around very menacingly in the games, and if he gets close to you, he goes and makes applesauce.
I do love that applesauce, though.
To answer what happened to the Dark Paladin, Invenerable did a D machine grind incredibly early, and we are full clearing this entire seed. Dark Paladin is going to one of the two checks he has left. He has this Ogopogo altar, and then the Cave Bahamut, and then he needs to go back to the Earth and follow up on his pan.
And everything in the entire seed was behind that pan, because everything in the entire seed was at Baron. 3 of the 5 objectives were there.
Yeah, that's an interesting change between these looking for a crystal, looking for a couple key items, and these objectives, as you can go and technically get your objective sooner and still have a lot of key item checks behind it and no longer need to do them, so you can just get stuck in these key item starved situations.
Anyway, I guess we should comment on this mostly trivial Zero fight for Invenerable. He's doing reflex strats. We got some 9999 nukes, and we got some, I think, 8,000 plus whites I've seen, so this shouldn't take too much longer. Zero Miss, of course, only does his triggers his refill if you attack him directly, and something that we exploit even in the vanilla speedrun is that you can bounce things off walls, and it doesn't count as far as that triggering that counter.
Yep, that is something that if you try on the PSP version, you'll be disappointed, but it's a very handy thing to go and have, and that is Invenerable finished. Nemesis, that's hard to say, is down, and we have Invenerable coming in first place. GG's to him, as this was rude.
That was a seed worthy of a Baka pun.
Yeah, it was Baron until he got to Baron.
And that is the .FF4DP. Cannot blame him at all. Being stuck on one objective complete, unfortunately, and taking a lot of wipes to those D-Lunars.
Yeah, I can definitely understand saying, all right, that we're done with this. This has been rude. Let's see if we can get either of them in here for an interview. And looks like Dark Paladin is choosing the pass. We'll see if our winner, Invenerable, will come and join us. And it sounds like he's just joined us. Congratulations on your first place finish, Invenerable.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How do you feel about pans as a general concept?
I mean, they're good, but I kind of was looking for both Baron Key and Earth Crystal at that point. And the idea of, let's say that we chase the pan and we clear Baron, and Cecil's not there, and I have to go back to the moon at bottom again to get the Earth Crystal, that would have been utter misery. So went ahead and finished off the bottom of the moon, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to leave just the pale dim spot of the moon, and blah, 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 blah. And that's how you end up ignoring your pan for way too long.
Yeah, we're not sure. We didn't count how many you actually ended up with, but it looked like you turned down, I think, 3 key items because you had already grinded and they didn't matter to you at all.
Yeah, I kept getting them and like, nope, what is this crap? Get out of my inventory. Shoo. Just because, again, the only thing I wanted was my Baron Key and maybe Earth Crystal. And, well, luckily, Earth Crystal was behind Baron Key, so didn't have to really worry about it.
So both you and DP decided that you would invest 4 minutes on that Tella. Take us through the process of loving Tella as much as you do, and also explain kind of why you thought that was the winning play at this point.
Sure. So initially, I peeked who the character was, and I left him because I still had the moon character to check, and I figured if there is a Fu on the moon who already knows weak or can get it with a couple bosses, or even just knows powerful spells that can get me into the underground, I'll use that instead. But barring that, I had seen the Antlion at the Rubicon spot, and yeah, so I knew that fight was going to be rude. The D-Lunars on the moon, I figured wouldn't be too bad since I could just blink and Star Veil and do all that eventually, but I still wanted to be able to either full clear moon or have an easy time with Antlion. And the best way to do that is a D-Machine grind with someone to cast weak. And I want to thank you, though, Rivers, in particular, by the way.
Oh, tell me.
Oh, watching you grind, getting the 3-for-1 on Gold Dragons by casting Ice 2, that hit me in the noggin because I'm like, I only have 4 Ether 1s here, and I would take a double flame gladly if I'm getting 3-for-1 D-Machines on my weak casts, and that helped me get up to the 21 I needed to get Nuke on the Kid, and God knows how many levels on Yang. So thank you for that little bit of timing. Lore,
Yeah,
we'll call it
yeah.
lore.
We enjoyed the Odin fight, and I think our boy Yang with that Thunderclaw really enjoyed himself too.
He deserved it. You know, it was a little bit cheeky. I was kind of thinking, you know, if Cecil's up here, this is going to be just great for me. And since I had lost a bit of time, 1, looping back to the package twice, and 2, with that early wipe to Golbez, I figured, we can gamble on it. And the Thunderclaw I knew was going to make very quick work of it anyway, and it was pretty satisfying for sure.
No, yeah, both Baka and I kind of agreed. Looking at you as you were going up there, you're like, if he's already committed 4 minutes to getting Tella out of Kaipo, I mean, you might as well just keep going, right?
Yeah, lean into it. And, you know, it was kind of fun to also just strip Fu and kick him to the sidewalk. We don't need you here. We have other mages to fulfill your role.
I really think that chat took that well. It didn't at all make them question everything they know about the randomizer. And they definitely enjoyed that Tella was around for the rest of the seed and providing so much value.
Hey, I love my Tellas and I love my Edwards. They maybe semi-niche uses, but oh, are they great when they work out.
Paco, take over. Go.
Oh, fine. So, how tempted were you when you saw a Gauntlet at package to just reset?
My right hand reflexively started going to my reset button, but I'm like, wait a minute. It's alt Gauntlet. I have this 10 pack of Thor Rages. It's not going to take that long. And again, a little bit of, you could say sunk cost fallacy. I'm like, I've already committed to this. But at the same time, it was more looking forward to how much value I was going to leverage out of that Tela. That even if I didn't have the stack of J items, I would have probably just bonked everything to death. Desert enemies, not too difficult for any team to handle.
Very fair. And as a follow-up to it, how relieved were you when you saw that Fusoya was gated in the Giant, and thus, if you wanted him early, Tela was going to be your main path to him?
I wasn't really that concerned either way because I had already checked all the readily available character locations. Everyone else was either through a moon boss or through that antlion. So at that point, I wasn't too concerned. If I had left Eblin Cave hanging or left Moon hanging, then yeah, I would have been like, oh, thank goodness. But if there's one thing pickup races and just watching races of this has taught me, don't leave characters hanging. Maybe that becomes that I undoubtedly believe that'll become a better strat once brackets hit, when you're more likely to just have duplicates everywhere. But for now, check your character spots.
So I guess the hot take question I always have at the end of these races is, so now your record, in this case 2-0. Who do you want to play next round?
Oh God. I mean, the 2-0 field is already stacked. I am a little sad that I've had to fight two friends over the last week, so maybe I could get an enemy this coming week. No. I like everyone way too much, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna just try to play my game, and if I take a loss, that won't surprise me. Most of us are taking a loss in the Swiss. It's the nature of the beast. So we'll see how it plays out.
Great.
All right. Can't wait to rig that for you.
I am going to be
Oh, yeah.
eagerly waiting the admins to roll. This is the last race of the week, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Someone should go get on that.
We'll see if you can carry over the tough T-Grip so you can fight yet another friend.
Bakar, you're not in this. Rivers, you're 2-0.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't want to fight Rivers.
I would definitely rather play you than be in here with Baka listening to more puns. So.
Okay. We are of agreement on that. I felt them like tingling at the back of my neck during I'm like, Baka just said something awful. I could tell.
Let me tell you, we learned a lot about what was Baron, and it was everything.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the VOD on mute.
I feel insulted, but honestly, that feels me with more pride.
Nah, all right. Y'all are fantastic. Thanks for putting the show together. Thanks for all the work to the Restream team. And yeah, I'm gonna dip out, let y'all get Dark Paladin in here, and looking forward to seeing those week 3 matchups. Thanks again, y'all.
Thank you.
Spicy matches. So you said Dark Paladin declined, correct?
That is correct. He's passing on the interview, so that will be us signing off very soon. What are your final thoughts on the seed? Definitely seemed very mean to me.
I'm glad that I wasn't playing it. Yeah.
Very true. And I believe we're going to be going and sending you all over to our friends at RPG Limit Break, who are in the middle of their RPG Blitz marathon. So let's go and give them a bit of love. And
absolutely. And also make sure to thank our lovely restreamer Poidrak, who's been doing an excellent job of organizing all this, as well as our tracker Alice Seal, who didn't have a lot to do today, but has also been contributing a ton to the restream efforts.
Yes, thank you to both of them, as without them we would not have a show today, and that is something we are deeply appreciative of. And thank you, Rivers, for going and joining me on commentary. It's been a great deal of fun.
Yeah, some would say that.
Oh, come on, it doesn't hurt that badly, does it?
No, it's great. It's just you got to keep the shtick up, okay? So you got to cut this part out at the end, right? Okay, so just make sure you cut off the VOD. Okay, thanks.
But of course. Keiko has ruined my sterling reputation.
You got a reputation?
I hear it's a rather low one, but it's one nonetheless I'd like to keep.
So yeah, everybody, please join on this raid to RPG Limit Break, and thank you so much. We'll have some new matchups for you next week.
Indeed, I will have another exciting week. Thank you all, and have a great evening.